Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
On the double. 951, 951. 65.
On first down, Walker. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It's taken to the 26. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
No. Off. Hey, check Mike 6.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Here we go, 50, land, ready.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Walker. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26.
A gain of 16 yards.
Come on,
1st down, Seahawks.
Check back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Second and long. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch the pass. Hey. Move. Like six. Like six.
9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
From the 38, Brissett. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, they had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. What we got? What we got? What we got? Mike, 53. 53.
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Mike 51.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mike 6. Mike 6. Now watch one. Let it go.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Going deep for Diggs. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
That's good for our Vikings.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. This is Gordon. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Seahawks 0.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Going deep for Walker. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check. 53 is the mic.
2nd and 10. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try.
There goes Melvin Gordon. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he'll get into the end end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Melvin Gordon, 79 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown one play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. Motion. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Man left. Hey, zip. Hey, we got four down. That's it.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's able to find Diggs. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action now. Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. But when you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I'm coming after you. Hey, pop. Mike, Zig.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
So that'll back him up 5.
Here we go. Check Henry. Check. Check. Orbit. Mike 6. Watch the curl.
A second down throw for Brissett. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I'm letting you know right now. Mike 6. Silver. Check Mike 6. Watch the slant.
And the blitz does come. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Set. 60 orange. Watch the pass. Ready.
On first down, here's Love. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Ready, ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Blue day, blue day. Switch.
On play action, they'll throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And now a fair catch called for, and he'll indeed take it at about the 6-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Slow. 51's the mic. You can't block me. 51.
They go play action with Brissett, and they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. It's a foot race. The 40. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. You got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. You've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Brissett under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Mike 5. Mike 5. Zoom. Get ready. Mike 5. Mike 5.
Here's Brissett. Complete. Smith has it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Brissett. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with Walker. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. All you get is the head. All you get is the head.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
53, check 53. Pull it together. Mike, 53. Buzz. Mike. Hey, pick it up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Whoever the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
When the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
For the field goal, a 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
Come on, baby. Let's go. At their own 32-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. This offense once trailed by 2 touchdowns. Now they've got a chance to take the lead. First and goal. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. This to almost certainly win the football game. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. This to almost certainly win the football game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a chance, but it's just not meant to be.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. It sets them back in their playoff pushes.